Hello my saints, we're back today with some new Shibuya DLC leaks. Recently, the DLC was data mined by Persona modders on Twitter, and so today we're going to be going over all confirmed and unconfirmed characters. We'll also be going over the movesets uncovered and giving an overview of each character's abilities, potential maps found, and a new domain expansion entry, which sounds pretty sick, so make sure you stick around to check it out for yourself. Don't forget to subscribe and smash that like button for giving you the latest info before anyone else. Enough yapping, let's get to it. Back in June, when we received the premature DLC, the files for the Kyoto Schoolgirl DLC package was actually already there. The modder says that the Kyoto students were always supposed to be in the base roster, but explained the devs were rushed. So far we have Mei, Momo, and Kamo, and now we've just gotten Miwa added to the roster, so by pure logic, Mechamaru should be the next DLC. Finishing up the Kyoto students, we have 5 out of 6. The release for the free characters have coincided with the Naruto Storm DLC because Bandai is Bandai. Given how the Shibuya incident was specifically centered around Halloween, they could do us justice and release it on October 31st, since they have been releasing every update on a Thursday and Halloween this year is on a Thursday. For the American side of the world, typically that's going to be for Wednesday. In our last patch for Miwa, a lot of people got it in their time zone at different times, so that's something to keep in mind. At most, all we'll be waiting for is November 28th. Many have been wondering if they will be adding Mechamaru to the Shibuya DLC. They will not. He is the last character for the free DLC, and that I can tell from the moveset. Before I can move on to the moveset, let's break down every character that has been confirmed. Right now, we have Kamo, Mai, Momo as we mentioned, and that you can see was showing in the package from the files back in June. And it also showed their ultimates. So we did get Kamo's Piercing Blood, we did get Miwa's Simple Domain Quick Draw. The file also states that Mechamaru's ultimate should be Mode Albatross, Ultimate Code. That is not a symbolism for the ultimate Mechamaru that he got that was a big mecha. That is in reference to the big high burst damage blast he did against Panda. Now, sword option and shield options should be probably his R1, and then his R2 would be a concentrated blast that comes from his hands that he displayed during his fight. It would be more so mid to long range and provide zoning capabilities. Mechamaru also showed he is quite agile in a fight during his fight with Panda. Some soft DLC characters that are confirmed are Choso, Mei Mei, and Naobito. Unconfirmed yet likely is Dagon, and that leaves one character unaccounted for, which would be between 2 character files that have been left unnamed. My prediction for the unnamed character is either Kusakabe or Haruta. I'll explain in more detail in a moment. As for Choso, the superior version of Kamo, he will be a close range fighter with mid to long range abilities like Supernova and Piercing Blood. As noted by Kamo, the pressure of Choso's Piercing Blood is enough to impress him, and so it might have a stronger quality in game. Also, it's likely his blood can leave a poison affliction, as noted by Urarome. Although it's a paid DLC, I'm sure they'll balance him in some way. Maybe. Hopefully not. Mei Mei probably is my most anticipated character, so I'm glad she is confirmed. In this newest update, we got a confirmation of the render of her axe. No info on her movesets except for her ultimate being the Blackbird Manipulation Bird Strike, one of the most awesomest techniques I've seen. I do expect her to have some melee attacks and a curse energy move tied to her auto combo, probably related to her axe. But it would be awesome if we got another crow technique, like where she has maybe perception or able to manipulate them in some sort of way. That'd be great. Naobito is going to be one of the coolest characters, but I also expect he's not going to be one of the easiest to pick up. Naobito's confirmed attack is Projection Sorcery Barrage, likely where he uses his curse technique to deal a lot of melee damage. His technique works a lot like Night Eye's technique from My Hero Academia, where if he touches the opponent, he will then know their next moves. In his case, he will see the next 24 frames as you decide them. If you do not decide on a move, you'll be frozen in a frame, which can then be damaged, so it's a setup. The enemy can still move freely, but you now know their next move. Like Todo, just because you know what's happening, like switching them, doesn't mean it's now damaging them. You have to outsmart your opponent to deal damage. I can't wait to play him. I hope they add his Falling Blossom technique since it's similar to a simple domain, but that's just an added bonus. It's a good thing the same people that made Night Eye for the My Hero game are actually the people that are cooking up these DLC characters right now. Look at how he ate that. Viking, cook! Now, Dagon, elephant in the room, is technically unconfirmed, but there is an entry for his domain expansion map, so basically he's confirmed. His technique revolves around fish like Shikigami, so he should be having things that can appear, likely as a surefire hit. It's likely that they'll appear within range of you when he activates the technique. In his domain expansion, they should be able to hit you from anywhere in the domain. Since he opened his domain while nearly dying, I get the feeling he's going to have a similar gimmick to Mahito, but slightly adjusted to fit his persona. Haruta is the little menace who killed the assistants during the Shibuya incident. Now, his curse technique is a special one. He's actually noted to not be a playable character, but somehow be in the game. So I don't yet know what they'll do with him, if they have him as part of a story mode, if he's supposed to be part of the arcade mode or the co-op mode now. Yet to tell, but they do have his sword as a render as well, and so it's a big question mark. Some people are thinking that this may have to do with Mahoraga. Some people are alluding it may be something else. We don't know yet, so that is a big question mark. However, if he is a playable character, we do have that unnamed file that could be for him. It makes sense since his technique would be annoying but doable, where he tanks damage depending on how many livestocks he has, how many miracles he has. It would probably be attached to his curse energy, where depending on how much curse energy he has, he gets a certain amount of stocks or miracles, and there's a limit to how many miracles he can have stacked on him. He'll also be able to do damage via the sword, which he can throw, and then it comes back to him kind of like a boomerang. Now, Kusakabe could be the entry aside from Haruta. That ultimately will just depend on what Viking decides. Maybe they'll have 5 characters, maybe they'll have 6. I would love 6 if they could. But with Kusakabe, it would be this equivalent of what Kamo is to Choso, what Miwa is to Kusakabe. Just the better version, and I don't see why they couldn't do it. They did Miwa. Miwa didn't fight that much, and clearly we all know how those battles went for her. But if they're able to do Miwa, I don't see why they couldn't add another sword user. Kusakabe deserves that. A nice surprise is that UiUi is in the data files, similar to Haruta. He is shown as a non-playable character in the files, so he could be voice lines as part of Mei Mei, or even part of the game similar to Rika or Ketchisu. His technique is actually teleportation, but he's known for curing Mei Mei's axes, or may even be able to establish simple domain. But likely, he's probably going to be voice lines. Who knows, but I hope he's in the game. The more the merrier. One of the best things about this game is how much lore they've added. Despite the fact that I want Kusakabe, I'm leaning more towards Haruta, but if they can add 6 characters, all the better. The modder also explained that there is a map, which should be the Shibuya station. Now, that's very broad. That could be the actual crossing, but more likely it's actually the Shibuya station inside. My hypothesis is it's similar to the ruins, where you're able to break through them. There was a good amount of the fight where there was several layers, and being that basically everyone in that fight was near special grade level, or at least grade 1, most people could break through the floors. And so I wouldn't put it past them to make a train station type of platform that we now fight on. Big ol' Maga has not been confirmed yet. He may be PvE, but that is still yet to be announced. They might just be hiding him, but he's nowhere in the data files, and so as the modder has mentioned, very much unconfirmed. More to come once we actually have the release. I'm most excited for Mei Mei and Naobito. I'm going to be maining them next. Right now I'm stuck on Miwa, but let me know in the comments, who are you most excited for? It's been really fun breaking this down with you guys and piecing together everything we've learned and know from the files, and piecing together what we don't yet have confirmed from the source material and everything that we know. So if you like this video, please feel free to like, hit comment, let me know what you liked about the video. I make this content for the community and also because I really enjoy it, so please feel free to give your input. Your opinion does matter. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm your boy saintirvingg, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.